And Professor Alan Dershowitz, author of the book *The Price of Principle*, joins me. Good evening, Alan. Obviously, no one's above the law, but the law's got to be dealt evenly to everybody. But let me start with this: when you declassify something as a president, must it be in writing?
No, it doesn't have to be in writing, but there has to be evidence that it was done while he was president. You can't do it after the fact, after you left office, saying, "Well, I should have. I wish I had." There has to be evidence that he did it, but it can be orally.
If it doesn't have to be in writing, if it doesn't have to be in writing, what kind of evidence of whether it occurred on January 19th of 2021 or January 23rd of 2021?
It's going to be hard because I think his position is going to be that when the material was taken from the office on the morning of the 20th to be shipped down, that by that very act, he intended to declassify it. Whether there'll be witnesses who say, no, that didn't happen, but it will be a question of evidence, and I don't believe that he would be prosecuted on that. I think the only basis of prosecution here is what's called a process crime. If they could prove that he obstructed justice willfully and deliberately, and it has to be him, not his lawyers, obstructed justice willfully and deliberately by destroying documents the way Richard Nixon did, or instructed somebody to destroy documents, or deliberately move them from one area to another with a specific intent, then that could be enough to justify obstruction of justice, which would be a ground that possibly could be brought. But they'd have to then distinguish that case from the Clinton case, in which there is at least an allegation that somebody on her behalf may have destroyed some subpoenaed material and may have bleached the server. I don't know whether any of that's true, but the Justice Department would have to distinguish the two cases.
All right. Obviously, this is an ongoing investigation. We learn something new every day. But to the extent of what we know today, one of the things that's interesting in the attachments is a certification, and it says the custodian of records for the office of Donald Trump. It's dated June 3rd, 2022. That this person certifies everything's been turned over. It doesn't have if the president had certified that, it'd be a problem. Do you think that the custodian of records, whoever this may be, has trouble?
It has to be deliberate. Look, in civil litigation all the time, one side says the other failed to respond completely to the subpoena, and the other side says, well, we tried. Yeah, we may have missed him. We may have missed that. That's not a basis for criminal prosecution. There has to be evidence when you have a future presidential candidate that there was a deliberate effort to destroy, and I don't think it's there based on what I saw.
All right, now we turn to that photograph. I don't know about you, but when you buy an apartment in New York, you see how everything is staged. It's phony when you go online. This photograph, unless these were stored like this is a staged photo, and it's attached by the Department of Justice.
And it proves one thing.
I find what?
No, you're absolutely right, and it proves one thing, that they are cherry picking what they release. This is classified material, and they're putting it out. And giving it to our enemies because they want to, because they can. On the other hand, they redact other material. This cherry picking by the Justice Department.
I'll tell you what I find surprising. I mean, assuming it's staged, and it sure looks staged to me. They knew that by attaching that every single news organization, and we just showed it. We're just talking about it. It's the oldest trick in the book as a lawyer. It's the oldest trick. Then you juxtapose that against Merrick Garland, who says it's going to be even-handed. When they do something like a staged photo that they know is going to be plastered all over the media, is that even-handed?
No, it's not. And they know that the New York Times and CNN are going to show the picture without comment. Thank God for you, Greta. You at least have the willingness to say it may have been staged. Maybe the Justice Department lawyers put it out there to be photographed. You have to look at everything the government and the Justice Department does critically. President Reagan was right. Trust but verify. And this doesn't pass the verification test.
They could have even filed that under seal, right? I mean, but they didn't put that under seal.
They would have if it was something that helped Trump. But if it's something that hurts Trump and helps the government, they're going to file it openly. If it's something that's the opposite, they're going to file it under seal. The government uses classification and sealing to serve its own ends. They redact selectively. That's been my experience for 55 years Nothing has changed. Do not trust the government to guard itself. Who will guard the guardians is an old Roman statement, and it's as true of the Justice Department today as it was in ancient Rome.
Professor Alan Dershowitz, thank you, sir.
Thank you.